Hello once again and welcome to Astrology. This is your continuing tarot series, but join me for your Patra readings, your birth charts or Kundali. Visit zedamastrology.com or send me a line at zeta55@outlook.com. Welcome Earth Trine, this is Astrology bringing you your tarot reading and analysis for the period July 10th to 31st, 2022. And here we have the Magician in regard to your situation that you're currently facing. And the Magician is telling you that the power is in your hands. You have the energy, you have the control, you have the knowledge. And you know, with the Magician has all the elements in front of him that he can utilize: the wands, the swords, the pentacles, the cups, as you can see. And you know, they are telling him that everything is there, all the tools are there for you to use your energy to achieve what you want, to apply yourself, because you are going to have everything that is necessary to achieve the success that is going to be granted for you for this period. You know, the energy is there to give you and make you a powerful person with great potential and limitless possibilities. You are surrounded by the energy of the wands, the cups, the swords and the pentacles. They are in front of you there. You are the Magician, you know, and all those elements there, it come together, you know, they collaborate with the determination, the practicality, patience, you know, productivity. They manifest themselves into success. The Magician will encounter needs that has to be carefully weighed, and you put in the right amount of every part of the elements that you have in front of you. You know, you will be able to discern how many and what of each that you need to use to access and apply yourself to gaining success. And when the Magician appears, you know, he's letting you know that you are to use the tools at your disposal to succeed, but you must know how to use them before you take advantage or get the best advantage of all these tools in front of you. And as I've said on numerous occasions, the decision is always yours, and the Magician is telling you that you have to make the decision, because whatever situation you are facing, whether it's finance, career, relationship, whatever it is, the decision is yours, and you have the tools in front of you to make that decision happen. You know, if it is something that you have to build, then you have the wands, the physical strength there to build it. If you have to cut out something from your life and use your intelligence, then the swords are there. You know, if it is material resources that you require, you have it, and you have the emotional capability and stability and capacity to make that decision. You won't be overwhelmed by your emotions, so that you will know how to use each of these elements and to what degree to make the decision that will give you the success. And what led you to this position, Earth Trine? The Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is the heart of the situation, and the Queen of Cups is telling you, follow your heart, you know, go with the flow, be caring and supportive, be sensitive to the feelings of others, you know, listen, be sympathetic, open your heart to love, express your feelings a little bit, you know, don't be isolated. This is what the Queen of Cups is telling you, and what should influence you. You know, she's the peacemaker and disarmer during times of family arguments, you know, helping to smooth the ruffled feathers and disgruntled attitudes, you know. And, you know, although she is strong, she can appear delicate and fragile too, because she's that kind of person where you feel that, okay, she's going to listen, and, you know, she's angelic, and I need to be around her a little bit to share my worries and my successes, not only my worries. And this is a person that you would maybe feel that you have the need to protect and to care for. But, you know, in return, she's not stingy or she's not greedy. She's going to reward you with tenderness and affection. So, you know, the Queen of Cups can easily and readily give up something in her life for you to be comfortable. You know, she's that kind of person. That is the kind of emotions that you have had around your family, around this person, to make you feel comfortable enough and to give you the tools that you have to make whatever decision that you have to make. And what is the character that you have here now? It is the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is all about, you know, the factors that you should consider, you and your attitude. And your attitude should be one of generosity. It should be one of supporting. It should be one of help, you know, one of giving donations, one of being compassionate and non-judgmental. The Six of Pentacles, though, is a tricky card, you know, because we must also ponder the reasons why we are given. Are we being tricked into giving alms or donations to somebody who don't deserve it? Are we reading the situation right? And the influence here is the Queen of Cups, telling us to be sensitive. You know, we might want to think a little bit about, why am I giving so much, or why do I have to give? You know, but the Queen of Cups is telling us, be sensitive, be a little nurturing, be a little caring, because that is how you will become the magician. You can't become the magician by being selfish and greedy and hoarding your wealth. You know, you have more than you need. You don't want for anything right now. You know, you might not have the wealth of the Rockefellers or the prime ministers or presidents of countries, but you have more than you need right now, and you can share. You are better off than most people right now, so you can share, you can give, you can donate. You know, you are deeply concerned about what you see around you, because you are making journeys to understand, and you are seeing the poverty, you are seeing the laziness sometimes of people. So this is what puts you in a quandary at times, for you to want to hoard your wealth, hoard what you have, and be a little stingy and greedy. But the Queen of Cups is telling you, no, don't be that. See the plight of others. Let your conscience be your guide. You know, if you're in a position to help, help. You don't have to do it in a showy manner. You don't need to take pictures when you're giving the hamper to the babies or the persons who were flooded out, or whose homes were done away by tornadoes or fires or earthquake. But you can give. There is something that you have that you can give. You can share. You know, if there is a marathon to run, you know, don't do it on yourself and put yourself through trouble, because you may not be healthy to do that. But use your position and your power, you know, to make contacts and assist those who are in need. Be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. You know, give homeless shelter or food, whatever it is. This is what the character, what you are required to do for this period. And the Six of Pentacles, you know, carries a strong message. It reminds us that our circumstance in life can change rapidly. We can become rich or bankrupt overnight, so that we need to be aware how tenuous our position is at any given time. You know, the next time you see a person who might be more well off than you, or down and out, or in need of help, you know, don't look the other way. Don't cross the street. You may find yourself in that position down the road, you know. So at the least, share what you have. However little you may have, you have enough that you can still share. This is what the cards are telling you. Be sensitive. The Queen of Cups is telling you, be sensitive to others. The Magician is saying you have all the tools for you to be that person, that character, that attitude. And then the timing here is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is, well, swords is usually air, and air is your intellect, and swords is all about quick, you know. So within a few weeks, a few months, you need to understand that these choices are going to come to you, where you are going to be having these journeys, and that you are going to understand that sharing will give you happiness. And the Nine of Swords is really a card of despair. You know, we all experience restless night, or at some stage or another, it is rare that you will not suffer from a sleepless night or something that has your mind busy, because the swords is all about your mind. The swords, will have our minds busy, and we will have difficulty switching off about thinking about thing, about stressing about an incident. It generally, these periods give us disturbed nights where we do not sleep very long, and we generally unsettled. The Nine of Swords is known as the dark night of the soul card, and those who have to deal with tragedy and trauma and calamity in life will recognize it only too well. It can be a very distressing and isolating card, and it carries all kinds of terrible associations. The problems here are not everyday one. It's deep rooted. It haunts us. Sometimes it totally consumes us, especially when we want to rest in the night, because we're not working, we're not physically engaging our thoughts and our actions, so that in the night we have these stressors that we think about, incidents that really have had some deep dark trauma for us. So that the timing here is telling us that at the time of the swords, that it can be any which way. It's all the time, especially in the night, and that our heartbreak is there, the timing, and that can be what we might be feeling. So this might be very soon for us that we will feel this kind of despair, and the despair may come about because we feel we don't have enough to share, or that we feel we have the tools and we make the wrong decision with the tools. But we or ourselves, our influence is the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is somebody who has control over emotions, who has control of how she or he deals with emotional issues. And the swords here is all about your intellect, your communication skills, and probably you may not be saying things that you want to say in a particular way. And with the Magician and the tool there being a part of the swords, probably you may not want to use the swords or a lot of the tool that is the sword at this point in time. Probably you don't want to think, probably you just want to act, act with your heart rather than your head. Probably that is the message here in terms of how you are going to act about your resources and the tools that you have to keep or share those resources. That is what this card might be telling us, and what will be the outcome. The outcome here will be the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is all about slow progress. You're taking a journey, but it's slow. You are taking your time to do what you have to do to make that journey over, because you have just come through that despair with the Nine of Swords. So you want to calm down now, so that the outcome is you calming down and acknowledging that you are feeling a little down, a little lethargic about your life, that you may not have gained everything that you wanted to gain. You may not have probably made right decisions in the past, but the Magician is telling you for this period, the 10th to the 31st of July, you have all the tools to make the decision to create that magic in your life, to create that progress. And the outcome with the Six of Swords is telling you the progress is not going to be quick. It's going to be slow. You are going to find a safe harbor. You are going to get shelter from the storm. You're going to overcome the difficulties, but it's going to be a slow movement. It's not going to be that you jump over the river and you find success. It is very likely that you feel a failure, or that someone or something has conspired against you and the outcome is not what you really want, but you're not seeing it yet. The Six of Swords, yes, it's a little bit of despair, but it's also progress. It's also seeing beyond the horizon where the calmer waters are. It is being guided by the spiritual and the divine. You have been through a tough time, and you have suffered physical and mental exhaustion, so that you may be in a little depressing situation even though the magician is there. But at the end of the day, progress is there. You going to get a break from this depressing situation, because you probably have to take that journey and distance yourself from your problems, because the Six of Swords is also taking that journey, or be guided by a counselor, by a guru, who would guide you on a new path, on a new um, alternative route for you to reach your goals and achieve your successes. You may be trying to run away from your problems, but because like outer sight, outer mind, but these problems here are not physical or material problems. They are mental problems. They are how you probably overthink and um, you know question everything and want to get to the nitty gritty. But if this is not problems you can leave behind, even when you take a journey. These are not problems you can leave, because it's mental, it's going with you. So that the magician is telling you, don't let these baggage go with you. Clear your mental thoughts. Don't be the hoarder. Don't be the miser. Utilize the Queen of Cups and her teachings and her guidance and her counseling for you to become that person that you can be. Remember though, that even some of the conflict and stress in your life might be caused, it may be caused by others. This is a very good chance that you are overthinking it and becoming your own worst enemy. No matter where you go, you will probably find similar issues, because it's in your head. It's not in your body or in your bank account. It's in your head. So that you must reflect on this and question the role you play in the ongoing drama in your life. That you may have thought that you had dealt with certain issues, and but they are still influencing everything you do, because you are still thinking about it. You have not let it go. You have not put it in the past. You are still making it the priority. They might be slowing your progress because you're overthinking something. You're really overthinking something, Earth Trine, in this period. So understand that Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you are the reliable, stable Trine in the zodiac. You are the persons who are a little bullheaded, a little stubborn, but you always think about others, because Capricorn is always thinking about the masses, thinking about what good is for governance, how they can change institutions to do the best work. These are the signs of Venus, who wants to give you all the beauty and luxury, but Capricorn is telling you have to work for it, and Virgo is telling you have to correctly know how to approach people in your speech and how you communicate with them, so that learn these lessons so that you can become the magician, and you don't take the mental baggage of the despair and the depression with you for this period. You have all the tools in your arsenal. You have been guided and have the Queen of Cups around you in your family or in a partner, in a relationship. You have received the guidance and the counseling of the Queen of Cups. The Six of Pentacles is telling you that your character is probably a little wishy-washy, that you want to hoard all that you have, but it's telling you need to donate a little bit. You might not believe how you will feel different by sharing, by donating, by giving to others. So heed the message of the cards, Earth Trine, and understand your way forward for the period July 10th to 31st, 2022. As you know, here at Zidam Astrology, I always thank Bhagwan, because I am springing out with these videos from the help and guidance of God, and at the end of the day I will always thank him for guiding me and allowing me to bring a message to you. I pray that you will always remain healthy, happy and safe until I see you the next time. I have made some changes at Zidam Astrology to bring you tutorial or tutorials that follow this final slide here. Well, it's not the final slide obviously, but 3 slides follow here. It's a tutorial if you are interested in understanding my reasoning as to bringing you the trine concept in my tarot readings rather than the individual concept like many others. I believe in what I do. I believe in sharing. I believe in transferring knowledge. So if you are interested in understanding why I do what I do, there are 3 slides in which I will be guiding you as to how I think and why I think the way that I do. Thank you for sticking with me. Thanking you for understanding my methods. I hope that you sign up, share, and subscribe. Until next time. This is the trine concept for the Earth, which includes Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And you know, the Earth is stable, practical, and sensible. And the Earth signs have patience, and they prefer to wait, letting things happen in their own time, you know, instead of pushing the matter. This can make them stuck in their ways at times, and they can be the most closed off of the signs. They prefer to have a calm, stable life and are the most hardworking of the trines in the zodiac. The earth signs are Taurus, which is the most immovable, stubborn, Virgo, which is the most practical, and Capricorn, which is the hardest worker of the three. So that here we have the earth signs where they keep it real. You know, they are the grounded people on the planet, the ones who bring us down to earth and remind us to start with a solid foundation. Slow and steady. These are the builders, and they are loyal and stable, and they stick by their people through thick and thin, you know, we see through hard times even. You know, on the good days they are practical, at the worst they can be materialistic or too focused on the surface of the things to dig a little more deeper to get to the root of the issue. So this is the earth trine, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, this is your tutorial. As I mentioned to you in this video that I'm going to leave a tutorial so that you can see why I have formulated the trine concept to read horoscopes at Zedam Astrology rather than read individual signs from Aries to Pisces for you. And I've found in my research and in my reading and from my teachings that there are commonalities between the tarot and the Kundali, which is your birth chart in Vedic astrology. So that these are the commonalities that have aligned together, that have created a method that will utilize the tarot and Vedic astrology to read and analyze for you in the trine concept. And this is a Kundali or birth chart taken randomly on somebody born on April 21st, 2022 at 6 a.m. And this person's birth chart or natal placements are here for you to see that these are the placement. This is the fate of this person. This is the ascendant or lagna, as we say in Vedic astrology, where we say this is the first house of the 12 houses in the zodiac sign. So wherever the ascendant or lagna falls is where we denote in Vedic astrology your first house. And in this particular chart we go clockwise from Aries to Pisces so that we'll know where your first to 12th house falls. So your first house is Aries, your 12th house will be Jupiter. And each house in Vedic astrology denotes something. It denotes your wealth, your family, your siblings, your relatives, your children, your marriage, your father, your mother, your work, your career, your community, your luck, your spirituality, your illnesses, whether it's chronic or routine, you know, how you will earn your money, how you will lose your money, a multiplicity of things. And each of these houses has its significations that we read for you in Vedic astrology. So this is your natal chart. This is your fate. You cannot change the positioning of these planets in your Kundali because this is the placement of the planets when you were born, the time you were born, and the place you were born. However, you cannot change fate, but you can change destiny. And destiny comes from the transit of the planets. because each of these planets, they move from one sign to the next during particular periods, and you can change your destiny through your freedom of expression and will, through your ambition, through your courage, so that you can change destiny. You can't change fate. And the transit of planets will give you a chance to change your destiny. And transits, planets move, as we see here, Saturn every 2.5 years, and so on and so forth. This is how planets move from one sign to the next. Neptune takes 14 years to move from one sign to the next. Mercury takes 1 month. Sun takes 1 month. And you will see these are the 12 planets that I deal with at Zeidam Astrology, so that they are the ones that I look at and how they move. And every placement of a planet in a particular sign says something, does something, has an aspect on your natal planet, and it throws out potential or a pathway for you to understand what can be happening. You know, it is the natal chart is a map of what the sky was like on the day, for us to know ourselves and to better understand the types of energy we have available for each moment and situation in life. And because of the transits where destiny can be changed, we can say that this placement is not decisive, but it shows options and it marks pathways in which we can utilize to make choices during our lifetime. And then we have the source code of astrology, and that FEAW is basically fire, earth, air, and water. Those are the trines that I look at, and the 4 elements are the source code of astrology, and they are the blueprint of your soul. You know, you become the architect of your destiny by using this blueprint of our soul. And the blueprint of our soul, one of the trines that I use, because it's the foundation, you know, one of the trines that I use is the Dharma Trikona. And the Dharma trine tells you that, you know, this is the trine that keeps us on the soul's mission, the accumulated merit and the manifestation of past karma. And this 159 denotes the houses 1, 5, and 9. And as you see, we have fire, earth, air, and water trines. So this is the source code of astrology. And tradition holds that religious duty, your dharma, is the primary aim of human life, since it is the foundation which you develop your wisdom and your discretion to pursue wealth, which is artha, which is another trine, happiness, karma, which is a third trine, and we pursue these wealth and happiness from the wisdom we get from dharma, so that we will not compromise our chances of liberation, which is moksha, which is the 4th trine. But I use the 1st trine because it is the foundation, it is the primary aim of your birth on this earth. And Hinduism describes the Dharma trine as the natural universal laws whose observance enables us to be contented and happy and to save ourselves from degradation and suffering. So that dharma is the moral law combined with spiritual discipline that guides our life, you know, and this is what the dharma trine is. And I'm just going to pull up another version of the zodiac circle, the 12 signs, and I'll just give you an example so that this random Kundalini or birth chart gives you Aries as the ascendant. And with Aries as the ascendant, that will be the 1st house. The 1st house will be Aries, the 5th house will be Leo, and the 9th house will be Sagittarius. And this is the trine. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is the fire trine. And with the fire trine, even if your first bhava is Leo, then Leo will be your 1st house, Sagittarius will be your 5th, and Aries will be your 9th. You will still remain in that trine if your ascendant moves from Aries to Leo or Sagittarius. And remember, your ascendant moves every 2.5 hours every day from one zodiac sign to our next in Vedic astrology. And then we have the Earth trine, and the Earth trine can begin with Taurus. And if it begins with Taurus, then you would have as your fifth house, you will have Virgo. As your 9th house, you will have Capricorn, and this is your Earth trine. Then your air trine will be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. That is your air trine. And obviously your water trine will then be Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, so that all your signs are taken care of there, as you see. So these are the trines. And why I do the horoscope in trines is because Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, when one is activated, each of these are activated because they are in a trine. They are in a dharma trine, a dharma, where your duty, where your vision, where your wisdom are all created for you to understand that first house is you are born, then 5th house is your children, and the 9th house is your father. So you get the circle of evolution. Your father produces you with your mother. Your mother helps you throughout your life. When you are an adult, then you produce children. And that is where you get this circle of evolution, so that the Dharma trine here is what connects each of these 3 signs in the zodiac. And then we have the tarot deck. And the tarot deck, as we know it, has wands, pentacles, swords, and cups. And you will see that the wands is with fire, the pentacles is earth, and swords are air, and cups are water. So that here now we have the commonality between the tarot deck and the zodiac astrology, the source code of astrology. So that this is what I find with the commonalities. There are so many other things that I can speak about, but this is the basic. This is the basic. And if we have to talk about, a tarot spread, that my go-to tarot spread is the Tetractys. And the Tetractys tarot spread comes from that Greek philosopher Pythagoras, who threw out for us the Pythagoras theorem. And he can be viewed as a Vedic Brahmin, because 3 of the things he did or believed in was that he wore white exclusively, he was a vegetarian, and he believed in reincarnation. And his theorem existed in the Sanskrit texts in India. So that there we have the commonality again. And then even so, the tarot deck, the fire is clubs, pentacles is diamonds, swords is aligned to spades, and cups is aligned to hearts. So this is where we get the commonalities. This is where I can utilize a union of tarot and Vedic astrology to bring you a complex issue, but a different take on reading your birth chart, because you cannot live by yourself, you weren't born by yourself, and you can't grow up by yourself. There is a community, and that community brings the trine, so that you feel comfortable if you are in the fire trine with people from Leo and Sagittarius if you were born in Aries. Likewise, it goes so for the other trines. So this is my research, this is my method that I use, and I hope I was clear, complete, and concise. I ask that you share, sign up, and subscribe, review my videos, look at my transit series, and I will join you next time. Thank you so much. The trine's synergy in Vedic astrology and tarot is given here, showing you the alignment of the houses 1, 5, 9 that makes up the trine, any way you count it or check it or review it. And it also introduces the kendras, the houses of Lord Vishnu, and these are the houses 1, 4, 7 and 10 in Vedic astrology. Again, you can get further details on this or an explanation in my previous videos.